Formaji YouTube video k lia oper jo tum ny story lik kdhs k oper Thai men strong hook lik k do. Hook jandar. Suspenseful our curiosity sai barpor hona chaye k mary vauer engage ho jn our video ko ntk deken velvet night. The night settled over the city like a heavy velvet curtain. Streetlights flickered one by one, casting long shadows on the cracked pavement. A cold wind whispered through narrow alleys, carrying distant, unrecognizable sounds. She walked alone, her footsteps echoing too loudly against empty walls. Every corner seemed darker than the last, every window hiding some unseen presence. The smell of damp stone and rust filled her senses. Her heart beat faster, but she told herself it was only nerves. Then, she felt it. A soft brush against her shoulder, almost gentle, but electric. She spun around. Nothing moved. The street lay empty, silent, except for the faint hum of the distant traffic. Her breath quickened. She pressed forward, eyes darting to every shadow, every flicker of movement. A figure emerged from the darkness. Tall, silent, and still. Its face was hidden, but she could feel its gaze burning into her. A shiver ran down her spine. She wanted to scream, but no sound came out. The figure took a step closer. Then another. The air grew heavier, oppressive, as if the night itself was watching her. She realized she could not move, could not look away. The street seemed to stretch, lengthening under the weight of her fear. A hand reached toward her. She knew she could not escape. Her mind raced, heart hammering, every instinct screaming to run. The figure whispered something, though no sound left its lips. It felt as if the words were inside her head, cold and sharp. And then she understood. The night had never been empty. Something had always been waiting. Something that never blinked, never breathed, and now had noticed her. The realization froze her. Every instinct in her body screamed danger. She could hear her own heartbeat, pounding like a drum in a silent hall. The figure did not move closer, yet its presence pressed upon her like a weight. The shadows around them seemed to stretch and twist, coiling like dark serpents. The air was colder now, sharper. Her skin prickled with a sensation she could not name. Her eyes darted to every corner. Empty. Every wall, every doorway, every shattered window reflected nothing but darkness. Yet she felt it moving. The shadows themselves shifted with a life of their own. A low hum began, faint at first, almost imperceptible. It grew louder, vibrating through the ground beneath her feet. Her knees threatened to buckle. She could smell something foul. It was not decay. It was fear itself, heavy and suffocating. The figure's outline wavered, as if it were made of smoke. Her mind screamed at her to run, but her legs refused to obey. She reached for the small flashlight in her bag. The beam cut through the darkness in a trembling line. The figure was gone. She exhaled, trying to convince herself it had been a trick of the mind. A distant siren wailed, sharp and thin, yet the sound did not bring comfort. Something moved in the alley behind her. A whisper, a rustle, a shadow detached itself from the wall. It was human-shaped, but grotesque. Its limbs were too long, joints bending in impossible ways. Its head tilted unnaturally as if listening to sounds she could not hear. She stumbled backward, tripping over uneven stones. The flashlight clattered to the ground, rolling until it lay on its side. The beam trembled, casting wild, quivering shapes on the walls. The figure's face was revealed. It was not a face she had ever seen, yet it felt familiar. A reflection of herself, twisted and hollow, eyes black and endless. The sound of her own voice screamed in her ears, but when she tried to call out, her lips refused to move. The figure's smile spread impossibly wide. Her stomach turned. Every instinct screamed at her to fight, to escape, yet she was paralyzed. A cold gust swept down the alley, carrying whispers of words she could almost understand. Names. Her name. All her secrets. The figure stepped closer, each footstep making the shadows writhe around it. The ground beneath her seemed to pulse. She realized it was alive. The walls, the stones, even the air, everything was watching her. Her mind raced. She remembered stories from her childhood. Stories of beings that lurked just out of sight. Stories she had laughed at. Now she wished she had never known words to describe fear. The figure raised a hand. Its fingers elongated further, stretching like roots into the dark. She could feel her body being pulled toward it, against her will. A scream ripped through her throat, though no sound emerged. The shadows answered, wrapping around her ankles, crawling up her legs. Her vision blurred. The night sky vanished. She was surrounded by darkness that moved, breathed, and whispered her name. Memories of her life flashed before her eyes. Her childhood home, the smell of rain, the warmth of sunlight on her skin. All of it felt distant, as if it belonged to someone else. The figure leaned closer. Its face split open, revealing endless blackness within. She tried to look away. Her eyes refused. The whispers became screams, the screams became laughter, all inside her own head. She could not distinguish reality from nightmare. A hand touched her shoulder. Cold, solid, impossible to shake. She spun, but there was nothing. Yet the pressure remained. Every step she took seemed futile. The shadows coiled tighter, pulling her toward the figure. Then she saw it. Not the figure itself, but the ground beneath it. It was moving. Slowly, the pavement rippled like water. Cracks formed, stretching outward, revealing depths darker than night itself. Something alive was beneath the city, watching, waiting. The figure smiled again, and the air vibrated with a sound she felt more than heard. It was calling her. Her body refused to move, yet her mind was pulled, drawn toward that abyss.